What is up, everybody? Happy Friday! Welcome in to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your host, your virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. What are you drinking tonight, Nicole?
Oh, I am with Mr. Tito and the fancy orange juice from Whole Foods today. You need to tell me what you're drinking and our three things for today.
I am drinking my Seven Oaks red wine as usual. My three things for you, my love, tonight is Kenny Omega has returned. We have WWE draft shakeups, and we got our backlash predictions for WWE. And let's get right to it, because we got a lot to get to tonight. We kick it off. Kenny Omega has returned to AEW, sort of. I turn to you, my love, ladies first.
Thank you. And I also
to open the show.
Really love Kenny Omega. Really love Kenny Omega. It was good to see him back in the ring, cutting a promo. Of course, Justin Roberts cuts the incredible entrance, and from North Carolina. But he comes out, that's the welcome home chance, and then he kind of just goes straight into it. So he's has the diverticulitis, which who people don't know, it's like an intestinal issue. Like it's really could be really potentially bad. Like Brock Lesnar had it, and I believe he got the surgery done. But basically, he says he was 24 hours away from dying, and basically they have to fillet him and use a colostomy bag. And he got really depressed, stopped watching wrestling, and then he was worried that he had to retire. And then he decided that he turned on Dynasty, and it got him really excited about wrestling again. He's like, I'm not scared to be a wrestler. Like, he saw Swerve make history. He saw Ospreay and Danielson have one of the best matches he's ever seen. And then he was like shaking. It was like wrestling. And he's like, oh, like I'm going through withdrawal. Like, I need to get back into the ring. I need it to breathe. He's like ready to go. And he's worried about having like one of the best rosters and now being forgotten. And he's mad that he feels like he's being forgotten and he made a promise to himself that he's going to come back, bag or no bag, he's going to come back and wrestle. And then he had his mission statement to, change the world. And then he segues to his second order of business, talking about colostomy bags, let's talk about these shit bags, the EVPs. He says Matthew and Nicholas, that they're going around embarrassing themselves. And then even though they fired him from the Elite, that they can't fire him for being an EVP, and that, some of the power belongs to the Best Bout Machine. And then after him saying Best Bout Machine, Okada music hits. So he comes out. Sorry, I have to scroll. I wrote a lot of notes for this because it was so exciting. So he was like, oh, hey, I lost my notes. Here we are. That I'm the best, we had a rivalry. He's like, why don't you give me a couple months and we can finish that here in AEW. And then basically Okada says, sorry, Kenny, I'm the Best Bout Machine now. And then Jack Perry comes in out of nowhere, blindsides him. Then Okada gets out of the ring and gives a chair to Jack Perry. The security jump onto the ring to try to stop Jack. He swings with the chair, so his back is towards Kenny. Kenny starts hitting him and then hits him with the snap. And it's so beautiful. It was so beautiful to see. I literally wrote chef's kiss in my note.
He does a great snap.
It looks so fucking sexy. It's just like, oh, love it. So he hits him with the snap mare, rips off his jacket, lets the picture Nick had previously. And then he's like ready to go and hit Jack with the V trigger. So he runs back to the back of the ropes. Okada hits his leg. Then Jack hits him with the chair into like the gut area because it obviously is all abdominal issues. So that brings out the Young Bucks, and they're like, whoa, like calm down, like relax, what are you doing? Like stop, and kind of like push Okada and Jack Perry like away from Kenny. And of course then Kenny's trying to get up, and then magically they each have a hand. They pull him up, EVP trigger, turning on Kenny. So then...
Well, turning on Kenny after they fired him.
Yeah, so I guess more. I know they fired him, but at first that was kind of more like, oh, we're writing him off TV, you're fired, blah, blah, blah. They did the same thing to Hangman, obviously, because Hangman's been out for a while, too. But so basically then they're all hugging in the ring and then kind of kicking him. And then FTR come out to run and save Kenny. They get the, do they even have a name yet? Or is this just the Elite? It's the Bucks, Okada, Jack.
I think they're the Elite, the new Elite.
I don't know if they're
yeah,
called, but
I think that's
the foursome, they go back up. That ends Dynamite. And it goes in like Dynamite, Rampage followed Dynamite Live again 3 days ago. So they cut to Medical coming out to take care of him. The stretcher comes out. Everyone starts booing that the stretcher comes out. They get Kenny on the stretcher. He's moaning and groaning and, holding his stomach. They get him to the back. And they're trying to get him into the stretcher. But, of course, then the Young Bucks come out. The Young Bucks, whisper to Kenny. He's like, or I think it was Matthew. He said, Kenny, I love you to death, but this is just business. Sorry, gotta change the world, right? And then flips the stretcher over.
Yeah, there's that.
Kenny falls to the concrete floor, and then Matt goes, oh, someone needs to check on him. And that's kind of how the segment ends scene.
So
there's a lot to unpack there.
So that begs the question. Again, a lot going on within that whole environment. Kenny, you set up a lot of potential feuds with Kenny. Obviously, I think now he's definitely coming back, right? Even with him saying the injury and everything else, right? The storyline is now built in. You have the feuds already with Okada in New Japan that we can bring over to the United States that no one's seen before. So in the United States, well, some people, but in a U.S. ring, whatever, however you want to put it. And then you have, if you want to call Jack Perry, if he wants to get to that next level, be a main eventer, you have that ability to make Jack Perry feud with Kenny Omega, which I don't remember. I mean, he's had matches probably as Jungle Boy and probably kind of jobbed out when he was Elite, but now he's a little bit maybe more noteworthy or more of a competitor. So there's a lot built into that storyline. So the question then becomes, when will Kenny Omega return?
I'm worried that when Okada first came out, he's like, oh, give me a couple months. And is this him getting beat up, pushing him back out more? Because I want to see him, Okada, Wembley. I said that weird. But I want to see the two of them at that pay-per-view, All Out. All Out. Whatever. All something. But now I'm worried if he was like, oh, give me a couple months and they beat him up. Or they try to push him out more.
Yeah.
Is this the...
Yeah, you said give him a few months. So, yeah. I mean, I would think a storyline like this.
August? Whatever that pay-per-view falls, August, September, whatever that is.
I think it's going to be in the upwards of... I actually disagree with you. I think it'll be in the upwards of November-ish. What's Full Gear? Is that November? Maybe in New Jersey. That'd be awesome. Tri-state area. Come to Jersey and do it for Full Gear. I don't know. I think that's my selfish thing, but I do think it maybe not Full Gear, but I don't think Kenny's going to be ready in time.
Then I'm thinking if it's not All Out, All In. Why am I confusing that site? I think then it would be going to be another year. Wait for in May and have your big meet the Vegas show, Double or Nothing, is supposed to be their Mania. Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. Let us know. Let us know in the comments below. We got some new people coming in here. So, again, if you're new here, hit the like, subscribe. Let us know what you're thinking about wrestling, anything in wrestling going on right now. We move to our mid-card. We talk about, there's been some shakeups, and we go into the WWE draft. Over SmackDown last week and Raw this past week, we have a whole new roster that will take into effect next Monday after Backlash concludes. So I ask you, Nikki, what were your thoughts and what did you like best about the WWE draft?
I'm really digging SmackDown right now. I told you I'm super excited for like DIY, like the way Tommaso, Gargano, Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae, getting them from Raw to SmackDown. I'm hoping this gets DIY serious again. I thought the R-Truth thing, thinking that they were DX, was cute and fun for Mania. Now I want them to get serious. I want them to like actually go for the belts, the titles, like take them from A-Town down. I think it's time to get serious. I think their roster looks really good for tag teams. Pretty Deadly's also there. You have the OC, which again I think can take a pin. I think that I'm excited about that, and I'm also excited that Tegan Nox is on SmackDown away from Natty. I want Tegan to also get serious. And start getting a push again.
Yeah, for me, I'm really super duper excited about Braun Breaker. I think Braun on Raw is a home run. Because often we see these guys that they're young guys that come up from NXT, and the path is go to SmackDown. It's like a trajectory. It's like going from like AA in like Major League Baseball, AA to AAA to, I mean, even though NXT SmackDown's not like that, but like to the main show. I just feel like Raw has always been the flagship show, and for him to come up from NXT and basically go right to Raw. I know, and this is what's so weird is that now he's like, with everything that happened, he signed a contract, he chose SmackDown, but he got drafted to Raw. So it's like, sorry, your contract doesn't mean shit right now. But yeah, I'm really excited about, Braun Breaker coming to Raw, as well as Ilya Dragunov.
Yeah, they also said like with Ilya being now drafted from NXT up to Raw, and then the new catch crew, no catch quarter crew,
New Catch Republic.
Yes, I always confuse them with the NXT one. But with Peter Dune and Tyler Bate also being on Raw, every single NXT UK champion.
Yes, that is Uncle Scott's math on his tights.
I literally asked Nick that when he was going the slides with me before. I was like, is that why he wears those? But interesting to have all four of the men's UK champions on Raw. I want to see them. I want to see them. Like when we saw that NXT match between Peter Dune and Gunther Walter, chef's kiss all day. I'm excited for that too. That hopefully under Triple H, like these men will get the big strong boys. We'll get some, TV time.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think, and again, I'm not the only person that said this, and the internet says this a lot. With Ilya, I really want to see him in Imperium. I think especially with Imperium kind of imploding, I think he would be a great tag team partner to Kaiser. So, and get him on and again, just organically let it happen. And then when the time's right, a year plus down the road, whatever you want to do, now you have him with Gunther already. So built-in feud that could make another star. Like you just pay it forward, so to speak, or pay it back. Maybe it's paying back. So I was excited about that. The only letdown for me, I felt like some of the call-ups, and maybe it's just because, like, I just don't know. I haven't watched as much NXT. I've watched the main events and things like that, but truth be told, I just didn't see much with Blair Davenport being called up to the main roster and being, anything more than just lost in the shuffle. And that's what I worry about some of these call-ups is that, like, especially the women's division is so stacked that
I don't know. I feel like the women in NXT kind of need more cooking down there, and I've said that before. I don't know if they've really done with her. Like, you asked her, like, who's Blair Davenport? I was like, oh, that's Bea Priestley. And you're still like, what? And I'm like,
that's Blair Davenport. Just in case anyone's curious, because I had to keep going back when we prep for the show. And I was like, all right. And it's been like, and I still do. I'm like, okay, this is her. SmackDown, blue, red.
So, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. I guess they just kind of need to pad the rosters, maybe, like house show loops and stuff. But I don't know, like, eventually, I think someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure, like, prior, she had a rivalry with Rhea. I don't necessarily, was it her first time in NXT? Because this is her second time in NXT.
I'm not sure.
Or they had to have feud in NXT UK, I assume. Again, I feel like that's like 2020.
Well, obviously,
so
I'm not. I've already said it. I'm not as well versed on her, so someone's going to let us know and fact check us on the comments below or whatever. So overall, I'm excited too. I think the different rosters, the way that they've been constructed, is going to be interesting. Like to your point with the tag team division on SmackDown, I think it's going to be really exciting to watch. Sorry, I almost lost some power. Didn't want to do that. I really am excited to see what Raw is going to happen. You know, obviously the LWO breaking them up with Legado del Fantasma is nice. I think there's more factions on Raw and SmackDown, like more diversity. I was surprised that
you just want new matchups. Like I've seen enough of that now. Like we're post Mania. Like let's separate them for a little bit, and then you still have Andrade on SmackDown that can still feud with Escobar. But I think LWO and Legado kind of away from each other is exciting. Like I'm just ready for new matchups.
Yeah, and that's what usually post WrestleMania is for. So getting into it, post WrestleMania is also the time for Backlash. So let's get right into it. We have WWE Backlash. I may have tipped the hand already. As we get into our predictions, we got a lot to pack into this show. I want to, dare I say, reinforce that message to pack into the show in the next few minutes. So we're going to get to a lot in these Backlash predictions. But we're going to open with what we think is going to be the opening match of the card. And that's going to be the world, they're calling it the World Heavyweight title now. The World Heavyweight Championship. I always keep forgetting it. Damian Priest defending against Jey Uso. Main event Jey Uso. Nikki, as always, ladies first.
I'm going Damian Priest. I think probably some shenanigans are going to happen. Someone's going to attack Jey. I also think that he will drop it to Drew at Clash at the
Castle.
Yes, that pay-per-view. And then they're going to it's going to be a thing with Priest, Drew, Punk. I don't necessarily think Jey is going to be in that, even though he's made event Jey. He's not going to win. I think Priest. I think actually Priest showing up on Monday. He was with Logan Paul. He was with Patrick Mahomes. He's kind of with the heavy people, and I just think they're not going to take the belt off him until Drew and Punk are ready to have that feud.
So to me, the build-up for this match has been better than I thought it'd be, because it's usually they throw somebody the champion in between. So I thought it's been really good. The promo that they cut, that Dean and Jay cut a few weeks back, where they're like, we're next, and this is what's next in line, and he's like, I'm not buying into all the Jay's, it should be me. It sold me on Jay's obviously a credible challenger, and in this, and what I asked is who should win this match. But to your point, I tend to agree with you. I think Priest has done so much to get to this point that Priest is my pick. I agree he's going to win. I just wonder, I would not be shocked one bit if we saw, him lose and then this be the fall of Judgment Day, because they've already teased, this breakup and everything's falling apart, and Liv is kind of going after Dom, sort of, maybe, I don't know. And Rhea's out, so I'm just not. I'm not 100% confident that he would prevail like I would most every other champion, but I'm probably 90% certain that would happen. But I do think that Jey Uso has way more momentum as a champion. If you put the belt on Jey, the reactions that he gets and everything, I would say, okay, that's a guy who deserves to be the world champion. But
I think maybe one day. Today is not this day.
No, but yeah. But again, I mean, when you get a bigger reaction than the champion, that's what we always talk about, the momentum and stuff like that. So we'll see. But moving on to what we feel is the next match, we do have a women's tag team title match. The Kabuki Warriors defending against Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. This is kind of a spin-off from the WrestleMania 6-man tag. This is Backlash from WrestleMania, so same.
No, it's not WrestleMania Backlash.
It's not WrestleMania Backlash, but it's Backlash. Yeah, but again, that's kind of the idea is that some of the rehash to it. But anyway, comes back in, and now we have a World Tag Team title match that we, I think, on this show talked about happening. So, ladies first, your predictions.
Well, I feel like you kind of laughed at me, but when we did our fantasy draft last week, I said Bianca would be my first female. And they touted so hard that she was the first Black woman to get drafted. The first draft, that was the whole big thing. And then the following Monday night, then is a big thing that Jade got picked so high. They're putting the belts on them. You got Jade. She had that huge big run in AEW. Like, you're going to want to put a belt on her ASAP. And what's safer than the tag belts? She has a belt, but it's still like she's not on her own yet. She can learn so much from Bianca, be protected by Bianca. Like, I'm surprised they haven't done it already. But I think there's no way that they're not walking up. I think that's the only title change. And I think, honestly, it hurts me to say, but they've done damage control is not what it should be, not what it could have been. They're not doing anything with the titles. I honestly think putting it on 2 strong Black women that are badass wrestlers, I think that's going to do a lot more than they have what they've portrayed Asuka and Kairi as.
That's fair. I tend to agree with you. I think that this is the best way for them to keep any momentum towards a Jade Bianca presumed SummerSlam match. So give them the belts, let them run with it for a little bit, and kind of go from there. So moving on. So now there's only five matches on the card. So we get into, I guess, what we assume will be yet another mid-card match but it's a big name mid-card match in Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Are they? Can they be called Team RKO?
Well, that's what tonight on SmackDown they were touting as the first RKO show, because we have the KO show, and now with Randy it's the RKO show. And I did watch the kickoff show before coming down here to do this today, and they were looked like they're having so much fun together. They kept holding up each other's hands, and then Randy was doing his pose. And they were said Solo, boo, Tama, boo, Randy, yay. They were just such the baby faces on the kickoff show. And I think they're super fun together. I think eventually they're going to break up. Someone's, the two of them, someone's going to turn on somebody. But for this match with, Tama's first, PLE, I think with breaking kind of Solo saying when he turned on Jimmy, wins and losses matter. I think they're first. They have to win.
Yeah,
I don't think honestly, I don't think the bloodline can take a loss right now.
No, and what I think is really interesting about this is that the New Japan finisher for Tama Tonga is the RKO basically. So I don't think he's going to go with it. But it'd be interesting to see because that's his first opponent. So maybe he does use it and will they call it the RKO if he uses it?
Would try to hit it, and Randy knows how to not take it RKO.
Yeah,
gives them.
But I tend to agree with you. I think that they're gonna come out on top. The real question mark, and this is a continuation of the Bloodline storyline for Randy Orton, and I really liked how again they made, even though he got his ass kicked so far, Kevin Owens looks strong. He came out bleeding, and Tama Tonga just looks like an absolute badass in this. So. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Bloodline, Tama Tonga's first match, don't see that that them losing. The only question to me, and this is going to bleed into our later match in the evening, is does Jacob Fatu show up in this match? He's signed. Is there's rumors? Is Jacob Fatu going to be the third member of this Bloodline in this match?
I think it'd be interesting if he interferes in Jay's match, causing him, and then comes out with the bloodline for the later match. Like, he costs the match, and then you see him with them, and it's like, oh, well, what are they still trying to screw with Jay, even though Jimmy's not around?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
With Jimmy being out injured, does that take Jay away more from the bloodline story? Because, like, Jimmy was in the bloodline and feuding with him. Now that Jimmy's out of the equation and Rock's gone and Roman's gone.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Like, would it be, and then maybe he just interferes in this match, and then maybe they just leave Jay alone?
It could be, yeah. It would be nice to see, but usually they bleed these out, like the introductions, like the guy interferes, and then it's a week later we get introduced to who it is. Or like they say who it is, but then they come out.
When Tom came out, they immediately were like, "That's Tom and Tonga."
Yeah, but then it was like, all right, he beat him up, and then like the next week he came out.
You have to wait for the next
episodic
TV, babe.
But that was exactly. A pay-per-view is not necessarily episodic. I don't know. It could be either way. Regardless, I digress.
Right.
You wear me out. So we feel like there needs to be a cooler down match before what we presume will be our main event. Be interesting to do this, but back-to-back titles. We have Bayley defending against Tiffy Stratton, big-time up-and-comer, and Naomi. So Bayley had her big win at WrestleMania. Coming off of that, that storyline, everything with damage control, kind of surprised that she still didn't have that like storyline going for another month into Backlash. But she has 2 new challengers. Naomi, who was originally her challenger that she had.
So she wanted to give Naomi the title opportunity, and then Tiffy was like, nah. And they had a match. Tiffy won. Triple threat. Did you want to say something else?
Oh no! So Tiffy Stratton earned her spot in. Now we have this triple threat. In terms of predictions, I don't see Bayley dropping the belt. I would love to see Tiffy be the champion, but this would be a real shocker to me.
Yeah, like watching, I think it's Bayley. I think it's going to be too soon for her to drop the belt. I think she'll drop it at SummerSlam, maybe to Tiffy. Again, at the press conference, they had a thing. She came out first. The crowd went crazy for it. It's Tiffy time. And she's like, Naomi's been here for 14 years. I've been here for 2, and I'm already at the top. So I thought that was good. I think, again, I say this every week. She's a star. I just think it's too early right now. And I think, honestly, unfortunately, Naomi's taking the pin here. So I think Tiffy's going to look super strong, but not win. I think hopefully she'd be the opponent at SummerSlam. Like, I don't know, maybe a sooner pay-per-view, but I just feel like her big first reign should be at a bigger show than like a Money in the Bank. Or the pay-per-view, I can't say.
Clash at the Castle.
Yeah. But the crowd, like at first Tiffy came out and like Tiffy time, they're all yelling Tiffy time, and then she said Naomi and they all booed. And then Naomi came out and they all cheered for her. And then they started singing the, hey Bayley. And then she came out, and then there was a whole, like, they cheered for all 3 of them. So I think it'll be interesting to see who they really are for. But, like, I think the chance for Tiffy time and then them saying Bayley's song was very much even. Again, I think Tiff's a star. I just don't think it's her night.
Well put. So that brings us to
the main event.
The main event of the evening.
I know, but we need, like, Samantha Irvine saying that. Irvine.
Well, I
I'm confused with Chris Jericho.
I don't have much. Drum rolls.
No, ruined it. Anywho's main event. I love how AJ looks in this still. He looks like a CoverGirl model. The way his hair is just flowing.
He has no dry split ends.
No, I'm like jealous. But come on, it's Cody. I think it'll be a great match. I think it'll be a fun match. I know they kind of keep saying they throw like AJ he won his first belt at a Backlash. He was the first WWE superstar to win a champion on North American soil when he won it in Manchester. He beat Dusty. Like, they are planting, even though this has been a very quick feud, they are planting the seeds. But Cody's not trying.
It's interesting to me that I completely forgot because of all the Bullet Club stuff that they were both leaders of the Bullet Club.
Oh yeah, because it's Bullet Club Day. And Cody tried to two-sweet him at the press conference, and AJ said no, and then Cody two-sweeted with Michael Cole, and I was like, oh no. But yeah, happy Bullet Club Day when the Prince. So even like God, someone correct me down below, but it's Prince, Tama Tonga, Carl Anderson, Bad Luck Fale. Was the only one that's still there Bad Luck?
Is he still there?
Again, I
don't think he is.
I was up on my New Japan until all of them made an AEW.
Again, I didn't really watch much New Japan.
But yeah, I guess because now I forgot. It's Dave Finlay. Yeah, Dave Finlay is the leader, I guess.
Yeah. In the newest.
Yeah, they're War Dogs. Again, correct me below. I am not up to date on my New Japan anymore, but anyone, too sweet guys. Happy Bullet Club Day. And all their yeah. Sorry, I digress. But yeah, you're saying Cody as well, Wayne?
Yes, Cody as well. I feel like, yeah, he didn't go through this whole story just to lose the AJ Styles the first match after.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like it's hard. But like, also, I think I saw on Facebook that like other people, like he was like the first opponent. Like when wasn't it when Roman first got the belt? Like he was feuding with AJ. I think AJ's like a kind of safe pair. It's so weird to call AJ Styles safe pair of hands because it's AJ Styles. And they also said in the press conference, he's like, it's taken me 6 years to get back here. And I was like, he's really not had a belt in 6 years. Was it I guess he had the US belt? Like, has it really been that long that AJ hasn't had like a proper thing going on?
Maybe he's challenged for all of
I don't know, but it makes me like.
Well, that's another thing with the draft. Like, I'm kind of super glad that he's with the club or in the same.
Yeah, but they did list it separate. It says AJ, and then it says the club, Carl, Gallows, and Meechin.
Yeah, they're
who
kind
showed up in NXT, so I don't know what's going on there.
Well, yeah, but
her hair wasn't blue, and it was weird.
But yeah, they're not going to put them together now because they're not together. No, they haven't been together in months.
I know.
So.
Well, I guess when did they break up? When he was going in the feud with LA, because I guess his heel turn when he started wearing black pants and became gorilla.
Because when everyone changes their tights to black
pants.
that's how you know something's about to go down.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Be interesting to see. So we are opening up the phone lines, waiting on our guest, but I don't have my phone on me, so I don't know if he's struggling to get on or not. So
why do you not have your phone?
Because I left it in the other room. So I might send Nicole.
You can stare at the belt.
I know. Well, and she always talked about this, about she doesn't know where to position the camera because she wants to see the belt. So those of you who've never seen the belt, that is the Stone Cold Smoking Skull belt, signed by Stone Cold Steve Austin himself. But we are going to open up the phone lines. Maybe he might have a conflict or anything. But regardless, we're going to open them up. So
I try to move my head so I don't block it, but there's just... Oh, sorry, I don't know if they can hear me. I try to move my head so it looks like a cool background, but like my head's too big and it blocks it. And there's a dumb light above my head. But so a little behind the scenes of, at the bar.
Well, let's open up the phone lines anyway. And again, technical difficulties, whatever happens. We like to just run the show anyway. This is what happens when you do live on YouTube.
You never know who shows up.
Exactly. So I think I know who this caller is. Because it changes it every time. But I think Ram Jam is Steve.
Got it.
I didn't get it yet.
Okay. Just bring him on.
Is it Steve?
Steven!
Randy the Ram Robinson.
Oh, Randy. Oh, I completely.
Yeah, as soon as he said
I completely just.
Oh, do I have to do the voice? Or
Yeah, that would have. Yeah, that's exactly what I had to do.
it's been a while since I've seen that movie, but best as I can remember, that was how it went. Can't wait to talk to our guest about it.
Yeah. So Steve, take us through. What are you thinking for pay-per-view? Which, by the way, before we get to it,
thoughts on draft.
well, yeah, we could get to what are you drinking? What are you thinking? Before you ask you that, so Sunday for our recap, just to let everyone know here before we forget, probably thinking 3 p.m. Sunday afternoon for our Backlash France recap. Anyway, Steve, what are you drinking? What are you thinking this evening, sir?
I tried to find something French. The closest I could find was Canada Dry. So yeah. No, I just have. I didn't have time to run to the liquor store before the show began, so I just have a bottle of iced tea.
Oh, good. Mixing it up.
Yes.
So, what are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts? Well, let's see. Well, actually, what were the? Go back to banging this drum because everybody seems to find it entertaining. What were the ratings for Dynamite?
Yeah, that I didn't.
After all, did they say?
Meltzer tweeted something. Also, I left my phone upstairs too, so I don't know. Meltzer tweeted something. I don't think it was great. Unless you know something more, Steve.
It'll be great to have. As far as Backlash goes, it'll be great to have a pay-per-view overseas where I don't have to get up and the sun's not up yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the 1 p.m. start time. I wish I mean, I know it's overseas, but I wish every pay-per-view was at 1 p.m. It's so great. I feel like my day is not completely shot.
Yeah, the card will be finished, and then you go to dinner. Hey, it's light out. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, well, yeah, afternoon drinking and just nice little.
I love a good day drink.
I don't have to go to bed. Yeah.
So, do you disagree with any of the predictions that we have?
Cody. Well, I missed the. Oh no, I didn't miss the Bloodline one. Yeah, no, I think the Bloodline is gonna win because they have to make them look strong for. I'm positive they're eventually setting up for a Bloodline Civil War at Survivor Series, Bloodline War Games.
Agreed.
Yeah. And well, so you agree that Jacob is coming in this weekend?
At tomorrow, yes. It seems to be some pretty strong indicators. At worst, the SmackDown after.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Do you agree with me or Nikki on this? That if you come out early in the night and then come out again for a second appearance, or is it just more of a shocker and then end the evening type deal?
I think he just comes out and costs Owens and Orton the match.
Yeah. That's kind of what I agree. I don't see him like interfere. Like the Jay, I could understand the Jay match and like there having to be a reason, but like with the Judgment Day there already, like that should be enough.
Then Jay will cost Jay the match. I think Priest is gonna win. I don't think he's gonna do it cleanly. So who gets?
You think JD, not any of the other, specifically JD?
I'm sorry, like Judgment Day.
Oh, Judgment. I'm sorry. I know.
So Judgment Day as a whole is going to cost Jay the match,
and Priest won't like it.
Do you think this is where he turns face? Or starts
no.
balance?
I think the face turn happens at that Scottish show you tried to pronounce. I think they're gonna cost Priest the title to Drew And that's when the face turn happens. Right now, this will just be like one more step towards him being really annoyed with
It's
him.
called, the pay-per-view is called Alliteration at the Castle.
Nikki has a speech.
Try to do it with the accent. Clash at the Castle. I can't do it. See?
Words are hard.
What?
Too funny.
Yeah, words are hard. Yes.
Words are hard.
But yeah, Cody's pretty much a sure thing to win. Bailey's pretty much a sure thing to win. And who am I forgetting? Oh, yeah, the tag team.
Oh yeah, Jade. Yeah, that's the only title change that we both. I mean, I think me and Nikki don't have any variants on.
No, we're
our picks
exactly
this
the
year.
same. We're pretty
That's probably right. Except I don't know that they're gonna. I think they're gonna stretch out Bianca versus Jade a little longer. I don't think that's gonna be at SummerSlam. Yeah, I think they're gonna make it a longer term thing and shoot for next spring for that.
Wow,
Yeah, agreed. I think they're going to go on a run. I think they're going to I think they need to do something with these tag team titles.
Yeah, they have to like set it up slowly. I mean, it's proven that the long-term storytelling works, and I also think there's going to be at least one more match added, maybe tonight. Actually, by now they've done SmackDown. It just hasn't aired here yet.
Yeah, I know. I've been avoiding spoilers.
Ah.
Because it was obviously live in France and it was live in the UK. And I know you and I follow all those UK guys out there, so I haven't looked at anybody's stuff.
I haven't thought to look yet, but yeah. So whatever it is, it's decided. I can't see them just going with 5 matches. They'd either have to stretch those all out, or it'd be just like just over a 2-hour long show.
I'm sure there'll be like a segment. Like apparently John Cena's in France. He was spotted in Nice, which is apparently close to Lyon. Again, I'm not up to date my French geography. But I'm assuming there's probably going to be like a segment. Like I don't know if like they have Grace, like A Town Down is wrestling tonight. Like I don't know if they'll have a segment or they'll have like another talk, like just a talk segment.
There to do another Ricky Stenicki plug. So.
So he's gonna say that WrestleMania is coming to France, like he did at Money in the Bank when he said London's getting a WrestleMania.
Yeah, hey, yeah. Well, wanted in France. Well, if they were to bring WrestleMania to France, it wouldn't be where they were. Mm-hmm. That would absolutely be Paris.
Yeah. Well, would it? Well, yeah, it would be close enough to like. But then again, to be fair, apparently WrestleMania 29 was considered New York, New Jersey because it was in MetLife, and they're like it's close enough to New York that it's considered New York, and they just did basically Radio City and for the press conference, and the Hall of Fame was at the Garden, but everything else basically.
The 2024 Olympics is in Paris, so they build all those big arenas for the Olympics. Maybe they just take over like an Olympic arena.
By the way, for anybody listening who hasn't been to Paris is awesome. Definitely go. Maybe not go during the Olympics, but definitely go.
On my bucket list.
Yeah.
Well put, Steve. So, Steve, before we let you wrap here, what do you any last words or comments for the pay-per-view, the draft, or?
Here's a prediction. There's going to be some kind of tribute by one of the wrestlers wrestling on the card to Andre the Giant, because I can't think of any other actual French wrestlers, and it'll probably.
I thought he was Austrian.
No, Andre was. They actually at the press conference they did a little promo package for Andre. I don't know who's a big guy that they can do an Andre.
Well, Kevin Owens will probably come out in that one strap singlet. He'll look more like the old, if you remember, Dr. D. David Schultz, who wore the same outfit. He'll end up looking more like that. But that'll be the tribute. So the Bloodline can say they pinned Andre, sort of.
Mm.
That's fair. So actually, Andrew, the Reinforcer Anderson just texted me back. I guess he had some issues here. I guess he got stuck. Some car issues, but doesn't look like he'll be making it on tonight. I don't know. We give 10 minutes for our professors, so so we'll keep it going. But yeah, I don't really have any other thoughts on the page. I mean, in terms of like,
well, that's when I worry that when a card is too predictable.
well,
like, we were dead set on Gunter winning, and then it cuts to that night, and we're like, oh no, he's not. So I don't know if they're gonna do any shock. Again, it's only Backlash. I don't know, and it makes me think about Backlash last year. That was such a good show. With Damian Priest and Bad Bunny, and you had Cody Brock, and then Rhea and Selena had her big moment.
Yeah, that was great. That was a hot crowd. They had all those hometown wrestlers.
Vega.
And they don't really have any. They don't really. It could still be a hot crowd this time, but they don't really have any. Anybody that they could say, this is your hometown favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, because they were doing soccer chants.
She go to Italy for Santino Marella.
And I don't know if there was any big French soccer people or someone be in the crowd. I don't know what's a famous French person that because again, Puerto Rico, Big Bunny was.
Well, the basketball player was oh my gosh, Tony Parker. Tony Parker back in Tony Parker's French.
Who married Eva Longoria?
Yeah.
Because
I'm afraid the internet's gonna.
I don't care that much, but
someone fact check me. I'm pretty sure he's French because he came over in the draft because that was when the Spurs were drafting all the European players and making them superstars. So. Those are the days. Not really. Well, now we got the Knicks doing well. How about the Knicks?
I'm watching so much Knicks basketball. I don't know what's happening in basketball.
We need some foul shooters. What are you gonna do? Well, Steve,
yep.
Pleasure as always.
Steven!
You, sir. Oh, sorry.
Really cut him off.
Yeah, sorry. We got the thank.
Fastest fingers in the West. Steven! Thank you as always, sir.
Let that be a lesson to you all. You get out of line.
Oh, boy.
Heavy is the finger.
Where's the crowd?
That runs the show.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. He say you can get on a little later, but a little later is after our show runs off the air. So we're gonna try and reschedule for a little bit later on. Actually, who did we get a comment from? Oh, well, I never. Well, I never. Steve. Oh, I don't have it up yet. Sorry, Steve. Steve, hold on. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry, Steve.
Nick figured out how to do sound effects, and it's going to be the death of us all. The death of us all.
She just thinks that I'm going to do a sound effect for everything, and it's not going to be the case.
Give me the strength, Lord. Give me the strength. I don't. What do you want to just keep talking? I can keep talking wrestling. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, we keep getting people coming in. That's the thing. Everyone keeps rocking in. We usually go for a little bit, but honestly, I mean, do you think there's rumors that John Cena and Charlotte Flair? Well, not rumors. They're in France. So the question is, do they show up?
I think we'll see John Cena.
Yeah,
I think it'd be interesting because that was the whole thing when AJ was healed the other time. It was beat up John Cena. And he's a big Cody fan. Would he come out for that? Is he just going to be a segment? Is he just going to be in the crowd, which I doubt? I'm sure he'll do something at some segment, or he'll come out like he did at Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Good for him. I don't know. If he's not going to wrestle, it's I don't really care.
Which I'm surprised because isn't he supposed to be in Atlanta filming?
Oh, you know what could happen? I could this.
Bigger?
Well, no. would he? Because he was the one who took out Solo at WrestleMania.
And he's Biffles with Randy Orton.
Yeah,
and
so
who knows with KO? Like, oh, their rivalry was so good back in the day. Could be interesting if he comes out. Or like if Jacob Fought 2 comes out, then Cena comes running out.
I would think more the other way
Or do you
around.
think it'd be overbooked?
Yeah,
Do you
not
think
overbooked.
Jacob is going to take out Cena?
Yeah, I think
watch if Cena can get touched or
like something where like because Cena's now got over on Solo last after Solo got over on him last, even though it was a match. But so it could go either way. Where I think that now the backup is needed. So it'll be interesting to see.
Interesting. Also, secondly, our big topic last week was, Swerve winning the belt. And then also on what kind of sort of kicked off Dynamite Live in the Ring is Swerve's opponent at Double or Nothing is going to be the returning Christian Cage. I think.
Oh, yeah, that's a fun.
So kind of Swerve was saying, kind of shitting on the Young Bucks. And then they're like, oh, we're EVPs, we're going to send out your first opponent. And then, Christian Cage walked out. And I kind of went over, I forgot that Swerve had that rivalry with Nick Wayne. And then the Mogul Embassies went to the home gym or the home whatever and beat him up and left him bloody in the ring. And that Christian Cage and Swerve were tag team partners at the Wembley show and lost against Sting and Darby. So at first it was like, oh, that's cool. Christian's back. What's weird to do this? But then you kind of this is kind of Tony Khan doing kind of building a long-term, missing not a long-term storyline. Nick, words.
Words are hard.
Words are hard, and I have a speech thing, so thanks. But I think it'll be a good match. I'm just worried about it getting lost in the shuffle, and I'm hoping it motivates because I think Christian's a very good wrestler. I think Swerve's a very good wrestler. I'm worried, but I hope that motivates them to have a bigger, a good match. And I'm just worried because we were talking about that today, talking about this card. I'm like, oh, this pay-per-view is going to be 2 hours and 45 minutes. Chef's kiss. Dynasty was so hard to get through, and honestly, I didn't get through it and fell asleep.
Too many matches.
It's just I could have cut the card in half. Half of that was just AEW shows, maybe Rampage shows. He needs to go back to reeling that in, especially if they're going to do more pay-per-views. Then you can't do a 6-hour card. I can't do it anymore. But I'm just worried again with the length of the card. The attention that, Nick said last week about Swerve getting the spotlight, the TV time. I hope it's a good match. I really want him to do well. I'm hoping for it.
Oh, hold on. We have someone in the chat. Let me try this.
We'll put a pin in that, kids.
Well, no, we can keep talking once we get people.
But I just worry. I worry.
I think Christian's a good opponent for him.
Yeah, I think it's a fun match, and I love that there was kind of storyline built in. I'm just worried about the length of their pay-per-views. After watching a 5-hour card, and you finally get to your main event, your crowd's exhausted because you had to watch.
Put the world title
you had to
on
watch
first.
First Jericho.
Put the world title on first.
Seriously, do your card. He needs to do his card backwards.
Seriously.
That'd be, So I want to watch the bottom, the top of your card. I can't. And then watching, maybe I just need to stop watching it. But then put on, because I get the thing on, and then you get the 0 hour, and then I'm watching matches on there. I don't know. I feel like their pay-per-view schedule has flip-flopped, and I need them to just both be tight.
Sorry, I'm trying to get the link over. I'm multitasking. This is what happens when we run the show ourselves.
Nick
this
has
is
a lot of security to get into this bar.
I'm trying to find the. Oh wait, I know how to do it. I'm multitasking on my phone. while sending things. So keep chiming in. Actually, should I bring him back in? Let's bring him back in for 2 seconds, Steve.
You can bring Steve. I'm dying here, babe. Help me.
Yeah, as I'm figuring out some stuff. Steve,
Hello.
go.
Steve.
Yeah, we are experiencing technical difficulties.
Exactly.
Please stand by. No, wait. If my picture is supposed and name is supposed to be different every time, you didn't give me time to change.
Yeah. Wait. Here we go.
Put a hat.
Don't worry. This could be. We'll pop you in and out. You know I'm quick to get people off the show anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I know.
All right. That's all right. No, under the circumstances, I'll leave it.
Is there anyone that you're like so weird? Nick was talking about like busts of the draft, and I completely forgot about Apollo Crews. And I don't know if there's anyone you're like, oh yeah, that person.
Yeah, well, there were a lot of afterthoughts, really,
Mm-hmm.
and there were a couple that weren't even drafted. And plus, Corbin, some of the names that they saved for off the air, like Corbin and like the new catch that they did on Twitter. It's like, well, I suppose you can't have everybody.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, I got to cut you off.
Dad! Thank you.
Like we said, you never know who's going to be in the bar.
Who's going to show up?
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome in, he's a world champion on the independent scene, Mr. Andrew Anderson.
What's going on, guys?
Hey,
welcome.
I forgot Nick was supposed to send me like a few hours before to remind me, and I was in the car dealership right now because my car took a massive shit on me a few weeks ago.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, try to balance a lot of hats here. My apologies on my end, but definitely appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm just driving through God's country here in Pennsylvania. We're in Lancaster? Ephrata, home of the Amish. I kind of don't fit in over here wearing my Kiss Room T-shirt. So.
Welcome in. We usually say, "What are you drinking? What are you thinking?" But obviously, driving definitely not the best idea.
First of all, I want to tell AJ Caprio I'm going to kick him in the balls because the man says, "I'll call you back." It never does.
Oh yeah. Again, I completely forgot. By way of our friends at Integrated Pain Management, AJ Caprio. Yep. Yes.
I love Dr. Caprio. I love AJ, but AJ's, I'll call you right back. I'm going to be Dr. Blood. I'm going to be managing somebody again. Okay, good. He was he managed me first as Dr. Blood, so which was a lot of fun.
You know, that's a great impression too of him because it's almost spot on.
Yeah, for sure.
He's funny. I could do I just did an impression a couple of hours ago of Greg Valentine. I was talking to Jimmy Hart, and I was going, "That son of a bitch, Beefcake, fuck him." Fuck Beefcake. So, how you guys doing, man?
We're doing great. It's Friday night here, so we're enjoying ourselves. Yeah, Nikki, we usually like to just kind of kick it off here. I'll let Nikki kind of take it away, ladies first.
Started off, but I'm really curious about like what gets people started, what like turns you on like about the business. Was it like seeing a house show or seeing like a wrestler? What was like the first thing you're like, oh, I need to do that for the rest of my life?
Oh, what brought me into the wrestling business?
Yeah.
30 some odd years ago, I was bouncing in a bar and I met the Metal Maniac, Jeff Miller, and Jimmy Superfly Snuka. They brought me to Gino Caruso, Mr. Italy in Parsippany, New Jersey. I've been a wrestler ever since. But about a year or so, I wound up carrying Jimmy's bags to shows. I was pretty much his bag boy for about a year and a half on and off when Jeff wasn't driving him around because Jeff was always working Jimmy on all those indie shows. So it's been fun. It's been a long career, and I'm still doing it. As a matter of fact, I just got called to do a show July 17th in, I want to say Rutherford, New Jersey. So.
Yeah, and you're local to New Jersey, correct?
Yeah, that's close. I mean, I live between PA and New Jersey now, so I go back and forth. But I live mostly in Pennsylvania. My fiance and I live in Pennsylvania, but we travel a lot to Jersey because everything I have is pretty much in Jersey. So I go back and forth with my doctors, my comic book store, my friends and everything. So, and wrestling a lot in Jersey, wrestling a lot in Florida, wrestling a lot in New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, back to Vegas for the Cauliflower Alley Club, I think in August or September. I don't remember what it is. So there's a lot of stuff going on, so it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. So we talked about it earlier with AJ being one of your managers. You've been managed by a lot of people over the years and a lot of big names. Is there one that kind of stands out that seemed to have worked with your character and things like that?
Yeah, I got to say my favorite manager was only for a short time. Was Roddy Piper. I had a lot of fun with him. Managed me. Captain Lou Albano was one of my earliest managers that they put on the indie circuit with me when I worked for the Savoldis. Then who else? God, sports agent Doug DeVito was my longtime manager. My friend, I broke him into business, and he wound up managing me for a long time. Of course, Jimmy Mouth of the South Heart. That was a fucking match made in heaven. I just, yeah, baby, okay, baby, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, Drew, baby, yeah. Because my friendship with Greg Valentine, and at the time my friendship with Brutus. So, so I was pretty cool with Jimmy Hart from the get go. God, I list of managers. I go, it goes on. Now my favorite manager is the prettiest one of them all, right here, driving right here. Hey, hot stuff, turn around. So my fiance Karen, the lovely Miss Karen, so can't get any hotter than that,
Love it.
So you guys, well, Nikki, this is right up your alley.
Wrestling are like my favorite thing in the world. So like that's kind of how we kind of sort of got together. Is like we both kind of love wrestling, and it was like one of the first guys was not weirded out. It was like, oh, you love wrestling? Awesome! Like let's talk wrestling all day.
That's cool. Yeah, I try not to talk wrestling all day. So usually instead of talking wrestling, I'm talking about comic books or something like that. Listen, friends of mine, I did a signing at Chiller Theater in Rutherford. Chiller Theater used to be in Rutherford. Chiller Theater in Parsippany at the Hilton last weekend, and it was great because I was reunited with my old friend Butch Patrick, who played Eddie Munster on the Munsters, and Don Jameson from that metal show with Eddie Trunk, him and Chuck Zito and all these guys that I've known for freaking years. So, and it was just a good time. And Lita Ford was there. So Karen and I got to hang with all my old friends. So it was really a good time to be around. But people kept asking me the whole time I was there, how much longer are you going to keep doing this?
And what was your answer?
Till the wheels fall off, which they're almost, if not for Dr. Caprio, they would have fell off a long time ago. If not for those stem cells, man, and the testosterone therapy and everything else, my wheels would have fell off a long time ago. So here's a plug: Integrated Pain Management in East Rutherford, or is it Rutherford? It's Rutherford, right?
Yeah, I believe Rutherford.
Rutherford. Yeah. Integrated Pain Management. Union Avenue, I think it is in Rutherford. Dr. Angelo Caprio, has been taking care of me for the last 4 years since COVID. If you want to get rejuvenated, look at the stem cells. I mean, it's just amazing what they do for you. Exosome stem cells and all the other therapies that they have, testosterone therapy. And, Nick, if you're going through menopause, maybe he has something to help you too. I meant menopause.
Touche.
Nikki, you don't want to go through that because it'll probably make you grow a beard. So you don't want any of that.
Nikki? So take us through. You were obviously, you've done a lot of work, obviously in the film aspect. Take us through your experience on The Wrestler. Obviously, you were part of that. What was that whole experience like for you? Obviously,
It was amazing. The Wrestler, I'll always say, Gino Caruso brought me on an interview, and he brought me with me because apparently Darren Aronofsky and a guy who passed away a long time ago, the Mambo King, this wrestler, the Mambo King, tried to take credit for it, but it was really Gino Caruso and Evan Ginsberg who helped me out with it. Evan Ginsberg was one of the co-producers of it, and but Darren Aronofsky saw me at a wrestling show that at the time it was East Coast Pro Wrestling, and I didn't know this till I got to the interview. I was there with Necro Butcher, The Truth was there, my buddy Pete Nixon, a bunch of other people. We were all there auditioning for different roles in the movie. I had no idea until I got a role for the movie. I was on set, and I'm pissing right next to Aronofsky. I thought he was just a casting agent, and I meet him, and I'm in the bathroom taking a leak next to him, and he looks over to me and goes, "Man," he goes, "you're a natural." He goes, "I'm glad you're on this set on this film." And he said, he goes, "You're unbelievable." He goes, "I saw you perform, and I think it was in Morristown or somewhere around there. I chased like 40 school kids into the rafters of the bleachers, swinging a 15-foot long chain like a propeller." Because I remember, like the night before that, I said, I never did anything like this. I'm going to start swinging my chain like Bruiser Brody when I go to the ring. I did that, and the kids all ran up to the rafters, and I remember doing that because I only did it once. And Darren hired me, and then I did my role. I got my lines on the first take. He said I was a one take, and he loved it. And anyway, from there, I got a small cameo role for other movies with Mickey Rourke. And then I wound up getting the Skittles commercial, the Doritos commercial. Actually, I got to tell you, once again, I got to give credit. Gino was contacted. They wanted me for the Skittles commercial for the audition. I got that too. So he's been a link to a lot of things for me, which is pretty cool. And I also got a great manager. I also have a great manager, Pat Horgan, and the management team. I call him Team Anderson. Pat Horgan, Mike Mullen, and Kelly Mullen, and they help me get all these roles. They helped me get on Sneaky Pete. They helped me get on Gotham. They got me on Daredevil coming up, the new series for Disney Plus. It's been a great fun ride. Look, I bodyguarded for Ace Frehley from Kiss for how many years, and I'm still good friends with Ace. He's going back on tour with the 10,000 Volts album. So. You never know where I might turn up.
Exactly. One thing leads into another.
I'm just gonna go back to the wrestler. Did you feel like it was really authentic, and it was like your wrestler story, or like being like on the indie scene? Do you feel like it was portrayed like authentically?
I couldn't get you. It's breaking up. The Wi-Fi keeps breaking up the sound on this.
Yeah, she wants to know, do you feel like the wrestler was portrayed authentically?
It was 100% authentically.
Okay.
Jimmy Snuka used to say to me that was based on his career, and I also heard it was loosely based on Jake the Snake Roberts' career. And in some ways, the movie now, as I'm older, it mimics my career to a degree. It's hard to age in a business. It's really a young man's sport, and I've been doing this. I'm 56. I'm still running around the ring in my underwear. I think I look pretty good, for my age, and I'm move pretty well, and I'm still able to compete with these younger guys. I'm not running around freaking going crazy or anything. I'm not trying to kill my body anymore, but I'm not phoning it in either. I'm just trying to do the best I can with what I have left. I think I got a little gas left in the tank. Tim Storm, former NWA champion, my good friend, used to say, I have a lot more miles in the rearview mirror than I do in the windshield, So, but that's true with me too. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it till the wheels fall off.
As someone who's wrestled, for decades now, what do you see? Like, obviously wrestling's kind of evolved in the last 20, 30 years. What's your opinion of the product that's been coming out more mainstream now?
Well, being more mainstream, it helps us all make money to a degree, but it also closes it off for a lot of people. Look, you got a lot of companies. You got AEW. They use a lot of independent people now, a lot of the younger talent, which is great for the younger talent. And you got WWE now. I think WWE right now, that whole bloodline story and everything, I think WWE is better than it's ever been in years. It was unwatchable. Whatever Triple H is doing, and the top roster that he has there, unbelievable. It's just a really, really great place to be right now. Wrestling's in the mainstream, wrestling's everywhere, but at the same time, it's oversaturated,
No, great point.
So, Nikki, you look like you have something to say.
Yeah, no, she was trying to say.
No, I just feel like you can't hear me. So he's like, ask a question, and I feel like I have to like yell at you.
No, I can hear you depending on the area that we're driving in. He's coming in clear, you're not, but you know.
I'm a little closer to the mic. But,
No, we talked to Crowbar the other week.
Crowbar show. Yeah, how was the show?
yeah, it was great.
We talked Star Wars for a little bit.
Yep, he's a big Star Wars fanatic. He always goes with his family to Disney. He's got a massive Star Wars collection. You know, I have a massive Marvel collection. I collect a lot of Marvel action figures, Marvel toys. I have a lot of Kiss memorabilia. A lot of it was given to me from Ace himself and other people, you know, that know him. I was a huge Kiss fan growing up, so for me to wind up being Ace Frehley's bodyguard and his personal friend for over 35 years, it's pretty fucking amazing. You know, I mean, I used to party with him in the China Club in New York City. You know, we know each other from way back when, man. So you know?
So I gotta ask you, being a fan of the band, did you find it hard? Like, so you're there? Are you there during during? Well, I guess not during concerts, but like knowing like who you're. I guess does it give you extra emphasis of who you're defending? Like I appreciate this guy so much more than the average Joe.
Yeah. You know, it's. I couldn't get everything you said. Could have came out, bro. I heard you say I appreciate. Give me that
yeah,
again.
it's one of those things where you feel like because you had such an appreciation for his music that it's just like you like again being a bodyguard, you defend it a little bit more than the average Joe. It's not just a job.
Listen to me. I'm a lot more than the average Joe. I'm a lot more than the average Joe. Nobody. I can tell you this. Nobody ever got arrested. Nobody ever fucked with him. Nobody ever did anything when I was on stage with him, when I was in the vicinity. Nobody ever fucked with us. So, and nobody in their right mind should, you know?
Exactly. So is that how? So take us. Is that how the Reinforcer name kind of came about, or how did that?
No, the Reinforcer name. I'll tell you. I originally was put in as Nikolai Volkov's tag team partner by John Krasuski after Boris Zukov retired. It was me and Nikolai Volkov as the new Bolsheviks, and I was teaming with him, and I was doing the Siberian Tiger. Well, we were at a show in Jersey All Pro Wrestling in New Jersey in Bayonne, and Nova, Mike Bucci, came up to me and said, on a microphone, right after I wrestled, and I lost to Mike as he was Hollywood Supernova during the ECW years. It was right in the middle of that ECW craze. He says to me, he goes, Siberian Tiger, Andrew, we all know what your real last name is. And I'm looking at him like, what? Is this a shoot? And it was like, your real name is Anderson. You better step into the Anderson family shoes, because you're not Russian. The Cold War's dead. You got Andrew Anderson. Because shoot to now, like around 1999, 2000, Crowbar, Chris Ford, says, you know what? The dude in WCW that was there, I forgot what his name was. He's not using the Reinforcer name. He's hired from wrestling. Call yourself the Reinforcer. On was the Enforcer. You're the Reinforcer. Makes sense. So Chris dubbed me that. So I got to give him massive credit for that too. So really, Chris and Mike Bucci were the ones who created the Reinforcer Andrew Anderson. On the other hand, Kevin Sullivan turned me into the new Purple Haze when, you know, because obviously Mark Lewin is 84 years old, lives in Singapore, married to one of the princesses, the royal family, to the Princess of Singapore. He gave me the original robe, did the whole angle in Championship Wrestling from Florida when he was trying to reboot it for Jeff Weaver, his version of it, and I came out as the new Purple Haze, and it was it's been a wild run as the Purple Haze too, hitting people with the golden spike, which, as to quote the words of the Nasty Boys, hey Drew, stay with the golden spike. You can wrestle for fucking 40 years more like the Sheik did. All you gotta do is stab somebody in the head and run around, roll your eyes like a crazy person. That's a great gig. so pretty much, I want to. That's my Knobs impression. But I want to doing that, and I want to doing that for a while. You know. I mean, I still it's still Andrew, the Reinforcer Andrew Anderson, now known as the Purple Haze, whatever they want to do, depending on the promotions and what it use it. You know, like SICW, Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling, Herb Simmons, and one of the oldest companies, the oldest independent company in the country, probably in the northern hemisphere, they use me as the Purple Haze, and so it's just really it's really cool just to update my character every now and again, but keep to within the limits of keeping it true to myself, who I am,
Absolutely.
So it's not that far of a stretch. You guys all froze. Are you guys still there?
Yeah.
I think. Oh, you got it. I see
Yeah,
you
we
guys.
can hear you on this
freezing
end.
up on me.
So we got a caller on the line. If you're open to taking a call here.
Sure. Who is it?
So this is one of our listeners here, Steve. Steve wants to ask in. Steve, we're gonna roll you back in, Steve. You're on with Andrew Anderson.
I can't hear him.
Hold on 1 second. Steve, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
What's up, Ram Jam?
I absolutely love that movie. I also remember that you worked with another one of my favorite filmmakers, Spike Lee.
No. That was somebody put that. That's on my IMDb page. That is totally false. Somebody put that up there. They screwed with my Wikipedia page and my IMDb page. They put down. It was one of my buddies was with me. He used to call me Baby Gorilla, and he put down Baby Gorilla as my name up there. And then somebody else, Wikipedia screwed up, and not Wikipedia, IMDb screwed up and put down I was in one of Spike Lee's. I was not in a Spike Lee movie.
Okay,
it was called Sucker Free City, and I was not in it. That is false.
Okay, my mistake, sir.
No, it's all good. It's all good. People ask me that all the time, and I have to correct certain things.
That's okay. But in general, though, how did you find the transition from wrestling to acting in movies?
Well, the wrestling, I'll tell you, acting almost killed me in Gotham. That was the most brutal sequence I ever did, because they had me do 50 bumps on concrete wearing nothing but a leather biker jacket. And they put a thin pad, like from the cushioning from the inside of a car, because we were filming in a car place, an old mechanic shop. So they found some padding in there to stuff in the back of my jacket. So that's like third, fourth bump on concrete. I was dying. And I did 40, 50 bumps. And then the last two, number 48, number 49, they decided to do those next to last two of me, like sort of bouncing off a 57 Chevy and sliding down. And they finally got it down. The 50th shot we did, 50th take, was the one they decided to use, where I slid down the back of the Chevy. So it was just a slight little ass bump from about freaking 18 inches to the ground. But that was brutal. But everything else in the wrestler, it was because I got to play myself. I took the lines they gave me, and I ad-libbed a little bit, and they loved it. So that was a one take. The Skittles commercial was pretty much me grunting, groaning, picking things up. I had to play myself. I had to play myself also again in Doritos commercial, just a couple lines there. But in Gotham and in especially the Sneaky Pete episode where I played the arms dealer, that was tough, because that took a lot of effort in that. You know what I'm saying? With I wasn't used to reading lines and getting a script. That was kind of hard. That was kind of hard for me. That was the first one. I played a lot of werewolves in different movies. One of them was I played a werewolf in Ginger Snaps Back, which nobody really knows about, because I don't really go into it too much, because I didn't like the movie. But I also played a werewolf in Creepy Tales and Girls Night Out, also in Girls Night Out. So I did that, but I played the actual wolf, not the. I played the actual werewolf, not the guy who transforms into him. He transforms into me. That was before we had all CGI and everything else. So, and that was actually before The Wrestler. So that was pretty cool to be on the sets of those movies.
Yeah. Are there any directors you'd still like to work with?
I'd love to work with Darren again. I would love to work with him. I would die to be in a Scorsese picture. Actually, somebody came up to me and said Martin Scorsese was actually looking to use me as an extra. Actually, both me and Ace from Kiss as an extra for a movie, because we did some kind. We posed some pictures by Niagara Falls, and he said he had an idea for us. From actually three of us, me, him, and his manager John Ostrowski, but nothing ever came to fruition of it, you know.
Well, hopefully something does. That'd be fun. Be exciting.
Can you
So Andrew,
imagine me in a fucking Martin Scorsese film right here? I'd be
all
like my
right.
fucking sister Janice said something, you know, from
I
The
would be.
Sopranos.
I'll be honest. Given your background and some of the roles that you've done, I'd be disappointed if it wasn't some sort of like gangster, like mob type movie.
That's all I need to do right now. Is get a nice gangster role. I would love to have a recurring role on some series. So right now, Daredevil looks like it's going to be cool. I can't shoot any pictures on the internet yet. I got to kind of haven't really figured out. I mean, they're reshooting everything that they originally shot because of the Screen Actors Guild strike and everything. So most of it is in the can, and I got more scenes coming up for this one now. So this time, they Kevin Feige from Marvel Pictures threw the whole fucking thing out the door, you know, because he saw what they did in the beginning of the series. So, you know, it's not a huge role, but it's a role, you know.
Exactly.
But you know me, I'm a typical worker. I take the little bit role they give me and I run with it. So I went from being a 1 minute scene in The Wrestler to co-star of the movie The Wrestler.
Exactly. Well, Andrew, we appreciate it. Where can everybody, before we let you out of here, where can everybody find you? What do you got upcoming? I know you mentioned some of this.
They can find me on Instagram at Andrew the Reinforcer, Twitter at Drew the Wrestler, Andrew the Reinforcer Anderson on Facebook, Andrew Anderson on Facebook, and then there's also another Andrew Anderson fan page on Facebook. Booking inquiries, they can reach me at andrewandersonwrestling@gmail.com. And man, it's been a look. I'm blessed. I got Karen by my side here. She's you know, she's been everything to me, helped me get through life in general. I couldn't imagine my life without her, you know. So, and you know, it's just been really cool. And I had some great friends in this business, people who really had my back over the years, like Kevin Sullivan and Greg Valentine, my buddy Craig Massey, you know, people like that. And of course, a lot of the promoters, Gino Caruso, you know, Tom Lance and other people like that who I worked with over the years. I mean, I can't complain. Alpha Jr. and his Battlefield Pro Wrestling up in Broadheadsville, PA. I'm working for them a lot now. And Neilio Como at CCW. I love CCW. It's one of my favorite places to work with. They brought back Championship Wrestling from Florida. Can't thank them enough for having me on their initial TV tapings. And it's just, everything's been really cool, man. There's so many people I have. If I didn't mention somebody, you know, much love for everyone, you know.
Absolutely.
So, May 17th, I'm going to be in Mount Kisco, New York. Go to ecpw1.com. May 18th, I'm going to be on Assault Championship Wrestling for Jason Knight, my buddy Jason Knight, my tag team partner for many years, ECW Original. We're going to be in Williamstown, New Jersey. I can't remember the name, the Pfeiffer Center in Williamstown, New Jersey. I'm May 18th. And then if everything works out right, I'm going to be at on the 19th at WrestleFest or something like that. And they called me up actually this morning saying they might have a spot for me and Karen. WrestleFest, New Jersey, or something like that. It's a convention in I don't know where it is. I think it's even in Parsippany again. So I don't know, but that'd be really cool. So I that's why I have her, because she remembers all my dates. But we don't have my date book with me right now. So
well, they could all find it on your social media pages, right?
Yep.
So
River City WrestleCon. That's June 8th and 9th. That's going to be in St. Augustine, right? St. Augustine. It's not in Jacksonville. He was in Jacksonville that past 4 years. Now it's in St. Augustine. I'll be there. And big shout out to a lot of my friends. Like I said, Jason Knight, Gino Caruso, and Cuban Assassin, Fidel Sierra. Dave is one of my best friends, as well as the other Dave, Gangrel, Dave Heath, who you guys saw wrestle last weekend in Rutherford. You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, really, and of course, I would be sorry to say if I did not mention my buddy AJ Caprio. So, AJ,
perfect segue. I was about to do it. You
AJ, Dr. Blood. Hey, you know what? Drew, I'm gonna be Dr. Blood. You know what? If I'm not Dr. Blood, I don't know what else I could be. I gotta draw blood. First time he wrestled me, I was bleeding like a stuck pig. He's running around the ring with me while I'm bleeding, bringing me back to the dressing room. So it was pretty cool. It was a championship wrestler from Florida, title defense for the other company that for Jeff Weaver, who owned it then, or I don't know how that went. So the rights to everything are complicated. I'm getting hit with a glare over here.
Yeah, that's great. That's news to me. I never heard this one with AJ, so now I have to. He has to change.
He was great. It was Paul Roma. It was Paul Roma's show. It was at a place called the something Bar and Grill. It was like the Rodeo Bar and Grill or something in Connecticut, and I was wrestling against Captain Payne, and AJ was managing me as Dr. Blood around the ring. It was pretty cool. He's actually pretty good at it. He's funny. He's funny as hell. I couldn't.
Oh yeah. That's why I can only imagine.
He looks like as if Hercules Hernandez and Ted Arcidi had a baby, and he popped out of someone's ass.
It's exactly.
Again.
I know.
You'll never hear that from anyone else but me, Dr. Blood. They call him Dr. Blood.
Well, Andrew, again, on that note, right? Always leave the crowd on a high.
Yeah, that's it, baby. Now listen, you guys are the best. I'm glad I did this podcast. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys having me on. Hopefully, I'll be on again. Yeah, and we'll have more to talk about. And I won't be driving around getting hit with the glare of the setting sun every 2 seconds.
Exactly. Well, it's our concept is the virtual bar, which I actually didn't even have the bar up in the background the whole show, whatever. And the bar always needs a bouncer, right? And there we go.
Who better than a professionally licensed bodyguard / professional wrestler / actor / sometimes asshole?
Exactly.
Hired.
Well, Andrew, take care. Best of luck.
Hey, you know what I got to say? Yo, Adrian, I made it on the show.
Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, the reinforcer, Andrew Anderson. You never know who's going to pop up for happy hour. Check him out.
Oh, boy.
If you haven't already on his social media, like you mentioned.
Andrew Anderson, reinforcer.
Yeah, fun evening. I know. We got a bunch of comments in the chat.
I could have just had him do
Ed
impressions.
was going nuts over Nova. Nova invented everything. Yes, he did, Ed. Yep. Crowbar is a friend of the show. Friend of everybody, apparently.
I know. I wanted to ask him about his match with Crowbar. And then he's like, oh, what do you guys talk about? I was like, Star Wars. And then
what a great show. So,
guys.
Before we get out of here, we got a bunch of new people in here. So if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It's always part of it.
But I have an announcement. The next 2 weeks at Nick Club Happy Hour is going to be Ladies' Night, because we got some incredible ladies joining us the next 2 weeks. Nikki Duke.
You can't have a Nick Club without a Nick.
We need another Nick in the Nick Club. We're going to talk to Nikki Duke, Jersey girl, badass. Love it. She's going to be here.
Local. West Essex represent.
Local work. Yeah, so a Nick, Jersey girl, badass. She's going to be here. She's going to join us on the happy hour. And also, we have a new kind of announcement, because I know we said Nikki last week, but we're going to have Zoe Sky on the 17th. Get another badass woman. It's going to be Ladies' Night, the next 2 happy hours. So kids, get ready.
Get ready for that. The lines are still open, and I guess Ed wants to chime in. I suppose we'll let him on.
Get in here.
Ed, what are you drinking? What are you thinking? You missed the all-in section for
hey, listen. Sometimes work happens,
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Just iced coffee, nothing crazy. Just figured I'd pop in and say hi, I mean, listen, if you guys are going to wrap up, last call, kick me out, I get it.
Hey, listen, the phone lines are open. If people still want to call in, we're going to open them up.
Hey.
Where's the banners? I got
what
more
do you got?
banners.
I mean, listen, if you're new here, maybe, super kick that subscribe button. I don't know.
Yeah,
I know, you stop saying it looks like I'm booing ourselves. You don't say give it a Simone Spike anymore.
Because every time I kind of change up what I say in the intro, and I haven't consistently said.
Anyway, Ed, what do you got?
Honestly, okay. You guys watch the this. I was gonna say Dynamite with the Bucks and everybody, and just that
Oh, the Kenny segment?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, he showed up late. He didn't miss
I
the
did
open.
show up late. I missed everything.
You missed the curtain jerker segment.
Gotcha.
Well, what do you feel about it? I'm curious about your thoughts now.
It just doesn't feel as big as it's supposed to. Like, I want to love Kenny Omega because everything that guy does, he's so friggin' athletic, right? Like
Yeah.
everything that guy does is incredible. But like, you hand him a microphone and it's just like, get off TV.
No, I don't think it's that bad.
It's bad. It's bad enough.
Really? No, I thought that was a good promo. Actually,
I'm just like,
I mean, that's fair.
I don't know. I like that promo. As good as a babyface promo is going to get in 2024.
I know he's not the strongest on the mic, and it's babyface ones are a little tough, but I've seen him worse, to be honest.
It's fair. I did love Matt Jackson though, as he was like they were going to haul him away. Like they push him over and they're like, check on him. Like it's
he's like, somebody said check on him. And then even when they were in that weird transition between Dynamite and Rampage, when they're going up the ramp, they're like, thank you everyone for a great show. Thanks for coming out. Good job.
Those guys are the best when they're being like smarmy and awful. Like, give me that forever. Maybe do a couple less flips and maybe sell a little more, slow down just a tiny bit, but like, give me smarmy Young Bucks all day long. Those guys are hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I like them better as heels, but I don't know. They do so many spots that it's like so hard.
It's hard to boo them because they're doing cool stuff. And like, as I never really understood the heels shouldn't do all the cool flippy things. I'm like, yeah, but you could still make it work. Mm-hmm. I understand it now. When like your entire moveset is just cool flips, it's hard to boo.
Yeah.
Like they do all the cool video game moves. All their stuff's in the video games.
But although the way, I mean, I get it. It was Tony Khan, but the way they did that, like he basically did the Meltzer driver, and he was just like, I'm just gonna do a split, 50 split.
Whatever. I mean, hey, it works.
He did the Nikita Lyons pin.
Tony Khan?
That was basically what it was.
I'm here for it, honestly. No, and the other thing I've got is get Jericho off my TV.
Oh my God, yes. I literally cannot.
You don't want to learn from the learning tree?
I already saw this gimmick in TNA like last year with Brian Myers. He literally was doing the learning tree gimmick with the good hands. He called it the learning tree. It was the same thing.
Yeah, but Brian Myers sucks.
Hey, how dare you? How dare you besmirch one half of the Major Brothers?
What are you going to learn from Brian Myers? How to have 300 losses in a row? What are you going to learn? What learning tree?
You are going to learn how to get the best action figures, all right? How dare you?
You might as well call it the jobbing tree.
You're going to learn how to take pins for Edge from 20 years ago. How dare you?
What learning tree is that?
You're going to learn how to get jabronied by Joe Hendry on weekly TV, all right?
I believe in Joe Hendry. Love him.
Also, I don't know if you guys know, he hit number 1 of the UK Billboard charts. You guys aware of this? Have you heard about this?
What? No.
So his theme song is number 1 on the UK Billboard charts and is slowly climbing the US Billboard, I believe.
Love it. I love that song.
Absolutely ridiculous.
I wonder if Downstate did the mix and I wonder what Downstate's Cody mix is in terms of sales.
That's a really good question because I know they just put out a single. They just put out a remix with the guy from Fire the Gods. So he's doing half the vocals
right before WrestleMania, which was awful. I don't know.
It's not good.
But Ed, before we let you go, what else you got for us? What's your last?
I had a bunch of stuff, man. Tony Khan, I'm pleading here. Do something good with my boy Shane Taylor.
You love Shane Taylor. This is the third time that you've called in and talked about Shane Taylor.
So he's actually a buddy of mine. So I just want him. I just want him to he's a good promo. The guy's good in the ring. He deserves better than jobbing every week. I mean, good on him for being on TV, but
he does get a lot of TV time, but you want just better quality TV time.
Something. Give the guy a win. Make his group mean something.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Well,
Kick me on out of here.
That was tailor-made. I don't know. I was trying to think of a good play on words, but I don't know. Ed loves Shane Taylor. Do right by Shane Taylor. We'll try and do right by Shane Taylor. But Ed used her.
I yelled Babs. I don't know if you heard me yell Babs, but I saw Babs in the background. Shout out to Babs.
She yelled at your
Shout out to Babs the cat.
cat. But this has been a fun one.
Oh, it's been a
But
weird one.
little technical difficulties on my end. Sorry. This is why we always, as a salesperson, I should know always to follow up, but I didn't follow up. So, tell me. So, we are here every Friday at 6 p.m. So, if you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Again, we're here every Friday for our weekly spot. But this week, we had an action-packed episode, hence how long we went. Pay-per-view tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. We have WWE Backlash France. So, get ready. Get everything ready to go. So, we are doing our recap show Sunday. We are back here Sunday at 3. So, those of you.
3 p.m. Eastern Standard.
So, I'm going to put up the video sometime later tonight. Make sure you click your notifications and do all that fun stuff. And come on in and let us know your thoughts on what transpired at Backlash. So, it's been a long one. It's been a fun one.
It's been a weird one.
It's always a pleasure, though, regardless. So until next time, you don't have to go home.
But you can stay here. Bye.